Hi, baby.pumpkin. There's a message here from Crypto Kaleo. I think he round-tripped about 30 million last cycle. So it's just interesting. He says, I don't think this bull market ends until 2027 or 2028. Higher for longer. Does that mean zero volatility? Absolutely not. The 4-year cycle's over. Simply trust the process and be more bullish. I want to tell you something, friends. See, in crypto, this is the thing, right? When we're traversing the bull market, there's nothing that tells you we're going to go parabolic. So what's actually happening is when we're moving along, all right, you're literally every time you're seeing this. Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to go forever. But that's what it feels like. But then there's this ignition that comes out of nowhere. It's a monthly candle, and it comes like big bullish news. Something appears that no one can see, and that's what actually kickstarts it. And then the positive flywheel happens, right? But yeah, man, like it looks like, so if you just look at this Bitcoin, you're like, you know what, man, we might actually just like never go parabolic. We're like just going to go like that, right? But that doesn't actually happen, right? But what happens is, see the difference. If you're looking at the leaves, right? If you're sniffing leaves when you should be sniffing the forest, you're going to see stuff like this and you're going to make the wrong conclusion, because what actually ends up happening is, you see, if you're looking at daily charts, a lot of these people are looking at daily charts, friends. The most important thing to look at are the monthly candles, okay? Monthly. And you can even do yourself better. Look at the 6 month. The 6 month, friends, you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 periods of 6 months of green going up. Now, you can't see what I'm about to tell you, but you just have to take my word for it and go study history, right? The longer this stuff goes green, the more weak hands it attracts. Basically, there's people sitting on the sidelines and they're like, man, it's never long. It's gonna never stop. We're never gonna stop. The bull market's gonna go forever. They're never coming down. There's gonna be no dip. I have to get in now. I have to get in now. And guess what? The crowd of people, they all decide this around the same time. And that's, my friends, is how we always get this blow-offs periods at the ends, okay? That's what usually ends up happening, okay? Usually, well, it doesn't have to happen again, but that's what happens, right? Because the longer something goes without retracing on these long periods of time, it just attracts so many people to come in and just thrash it, right? And then, they want to believe, oh, we're not dropping until 2028, for example, right? So this doesn't exist in a vacuum. This is building up, building up, building up, and then there is a pop. There's always a pop, If there isn't a pop, okay, then there isn't a pop. But then we're going to keep going 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards forever. Okay, sweet. It doesn't happen like that, though, because crypto goes parabolic because it happens, man. Like, once you've been going up for a while, there's a signal that appears out there to all the retailers. They go, oh, this thing is going to run for another 5 years. And they go, oh, another 5 years, you say? So I can definitely put my money in and get a quick 3x, a quick 2x. Yeah, that's what happens. If you could keep all the weak hands at bay, you just keep running up forever. It doesn't happen though, man. Because once people start making money, we get too excited. People start opening their mouths and we do some experimentation. Coins get rotated and stuff around. That's actually what ends up happening. So that's why I want to show you Crypto Kaleo's video here as you see it, friends. When you're putting it together, now you have a bit of a different context, right? I mean, look at what he says. Look at the example of Ethereum pulling back 33% in January 2021. The 4-year cycle's over. Now, as you get to know, friends, remember the 4-year cycle. I've been watching some new YouTubers and stuff out here. I love yous. God bless yous. I'll have an apple with you or 2. We'll play Game Boys. Just you noobs, okay? You noobs. They're still talking about 4-year cycle. They're talking about the Bitcoin inflation halving cut out here. I get it, bro. I get it. You haven't been watching the highest value content in crypto, which I didn't get. It basically means I'm not popular enough, which sucks for you because you're basically gonna learn about me at the tops, which is going to be a tragedy of the comments once again, because I'm trying to help the most amount of people. The only problem is the most amount of people only find out about you after you're already basically won the race, right? But as you know, friends, the 4-year cycle is a myth. The 4-year cycle is a myth, right? It is a product of the global debt restructuring, okay? It's a global debt rollover. That's what the 4-year cycle is pretty much. It goes in line with the government debt rollover, okay? They come to the end of a period and they have to print money. They use one credit card. They make a new credit card. It pays off the interest of the other one and they go spend money until the next president comes in, okay? That's the global 4-year cycle, right? And Bitcoin is caught in between that, it's some sort of this spooky timing that's done with the Bitcoin halving And yeah, everyone has this correlation, causation stuff out here. But most importantly, right, it's all about that business cycle and actually see it in the sine wave of that chart I always show you. And that's what we're all waiting for the next conclusion of. What's going to happen with this stupid ISM? Can you please go up? Please. 33 months. My gosh, man. I know it's been very, very tough. So, yeah, man. I got to remind you, well, look, let's play some angel music, friends, as we like. Let's just go swim into the next. Let's go swim into the next scene together. Swimming together, you and me. Friends, as we have gently swam into the next scene, remember, in a utopia world, crypto just goes up only. Yeah, like I said, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, one step back. Doesn't happen like that forever though, okay? That is, if you want that, you get a government bond. Yeah, we don't get like that, okay? What happens is, like I said to you, the signal comes out. People are making money, let me go throw it in, right? And look, I'm going to share with you just some commentary from YouTube, from comment sections, okay? This is different YouTubers, different comment sections, okay? Different videos, different themes. Let's start off with one of the biggest YouTube channels, Altcoin Daily. Okay, now I want to tell you something, friends. These comments are from the top. This is not buried deep below. These are from the top, which is concerning. You know, we'll see. Altcoin Daily comment section is interesting. It doesn't sound like people are anywhere near euphoria or even optimistic. Check it out. So Altcoin Daily, let's actually show you. So that, and they made a video. They go, you only have 60 days. Wall Street expert issues bullish warning to crypto investors. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alert, alert, bullish alert. Everyone's going to get mogged in 60 days. Look at the comment section. First, it was August. Then Coinbase says September. Now this guy says October. You are just exit liquidity. Next comment. Please pump my bags. You have 60 days. Expert. It's interesting, friends. The crowd's wisening up. Look at this. Yeah. We keep hearing that. Only 30 days. Only 60 days. Another 60 days. 2030. That's funny. It's funny. Next one. You guys are officially a hype machine. Altcoin Daily is now Crapcoin Daily. Entertainment channel now. I mean now. Like. Next one. In other words, you'll be buying his massive bag as they dump on retail little guys. Start buying in October when Bitcoin bottoms. In November, he'll say the bull market is over. He's buying, you're selling. Quite funny, Tom. Actually, you might actually find that we're crashing in September and October, and that's the actual time to buy. I'm still long and strong. I'm not going to do any of this timing stuff, but I just wanted to share that with you. Friends, that's not euphoria. Okay, that's not euphoria. Euphoria is every comment saying we're just getting started. Things are finally going up. It's all going to be great. I'm going to retire. That's what tops are like. Does that sound like a top to you? That sounds like this. We are so myopically scared, nihilistic, skeptical. This is not anywhere, nowhere near done price-wise. Nowhere, not even close, dude. All over YouTube, all comments, all videos, everyone is ready to sell. Everyone. The 4-year cycle might be the final boss. The crowd is never right altogether. Look at this comment, friends. Look at this guy. I would not gamble on this cycle going into spring next year. November to December is most likely where we will top. Everyone's got, friends. 4-year cycle, friends. So I guess what you can actually see is, I made this cute picture here for you. Shout out, quack, quack, Greg the Duck. The 4-year cycle might actually be the final boss. Quack, quack. Check it out. Look how cute he is, by the way. I would so pat him, hug him. Remember, retail's ready to click sell. October, November, December. They're ready. Everyone, friends, I've showed you Google search terms for the 4-year cycle have been going parabolic. You got to think about it, right? Who's going to be buying around the 4-year cycle dump part if it happens? Yeah, the institutions who don't believe in the 4-year cycle. But then you might say, but Sommi, what's going to happen next year? You don't know. It would be a fitting tale if a narrative appears as we go higher next year, January, February, that makes all those people who sell on the 4-year cycle, they get back in. And then they say, we're running until 2027. Yeah, we're going to run through all of Trump's term. Thing is that you never know. What if we don't get them back in early next year? That means we actually do run. But, we've been running for a long time for Bitcoin. So something's going to have to give. That's why, friends, it's very tough to predict. Like, crypto goes parabolic. We know that. But you don't know the story. Everyone's like saying, what's the story? What's the story? I don't know the story, dude. No one knows the story. It's just, there's usually an ignition somewhere. Just kicks everything off, right? It's going to be one hell of a ride, I can tell you that. Believe in something. And speaking of believing in something, friends, I'm just going to end. I want to show you a clip again of StableCoin SuperCycle stuff, because we're all going to have to conclude all of these. You know what I mean? With Pulse Chain, we've seen the bridge and all the money come in. pDAI, a natively decentralized stablecoin. Right? We're moving throughout time, but it's like, you know, something's going to have to give. You know what I mean? Like, you're watching a movie, you know, friends, when you're like, you know, 70% of the movie, and, you know, maybe the characters are out here, they're in the park drinking orange juice, and, you know, they're all having fun. And then, you know, the director, the movie, the music in the background will like start to fade down. And then they show like the next scene where it's like, you know, they fast forward the scene where like the sun rises and then sets, just shows you the next day. And then the scene's just gone black. And then it's just faded into like maybe the house of the characters. You know what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Like we're fading in. We just don't know what's going to happen, but we just know we're just like, okay, we're fading in now. That's what part of the movie we're in now. We're in that part. There's some sort of transition. Okay, not that type of transition, a family-friendly one. You know something's going to come. You just know what it is, and we're just here along the ride. Okay, so without further ado, StableCoin SuperCycle, and I'm going to crank it. Don't forget it loves you. I've got to remind you for the 50 trillionth time, okay? The world needs a natively decentralized stablecoin. And people say, but Sommi, why do we need pDAI when we have Tether and USDC? Why don't you shut up? We don't have Tether on our chain. We have Tether that enters on the Ethereum side and then gets minted on the chain, but Tether's not actually on our chain. Do you get it? It's not native. If the bridge goes down and something blows up, everything on our chain goes to zero. Richard Hart builds for a world where other things can explode, and we are literally the shining city on the hill. Do you get it now? Maybe you're not getting it. I gotta explain for you 50,000 times, because you're only gonna get it when pDAI is cranking above 5.5 cents. And then you're begging me to tell you that it's definitely going to $1, which I don't know, could go to zero again, right? Are you getting it now, friends? Are you getting it now? So Richard doesn't want to build a chain that is held hostage to meth land, to soy land, to cripple land, to pedo dot, okay? Because if they're not native coins, if the bridge blows up, or if their chain slows down, we're trucked. You can't do anything. You can't use it. Goodbye. Goodbye, all value. Do you want that? Friends, it's like you got your food supply from a village that has no security guards. Let's say you get all your tomatoes. Tomatoes are very important, friends. Okay, I love tomatoes with my eggs. I love tomatoes in many things. Okay, imagine there was a tomato growing village, and you have a city. And let's say everyone in here, they love eggs, ham, and toast. They love ham, cheese, and tomato croissants. They love them, okay? But you need your tomatoes in a tomato village. Imagine there was a village, no security guards, and it's run by literally like 5 indigenous dudes on an island, and anybody could come in and just ravage this island. Well, guess what, man? Anything that happens to the island, it's game over. Your city's got no tomatoes. What are you going to do now? Can't replace tomatoes. Do you get it now? Okay, well, now replace tomatoes with stablecoins. What happens to your chain if Ethereum goes down? What happens to your chain? And by the way, you might say, oh, but Ethereum's never going down. But remember, once again, you are looking at the leaves. You have to look at the forest. Okay. One day in the future, we'll wake up and Ethereum doesn't just have all the stablecoins. Do you get it? There's 2 trillion out there. It's right now, there's about 260 billion of stablecoins. There's going to be 2 trillion. There's going to be tens of billions of just stablecoins sitting on these random chains that are bridging in, right? So if the bridge on that chain trucks up, okay, there you go. Everything's pretty much defeated on your chain. You can't do anything because the other chain's dead. You can't talk to it. What happens? Everything, you're just free floating nothing. You can't mint anything out. You can't get out. Do you get it now? Okay, you get it now. Okay, so how do we fix for that? How do we fix for it? Oh, I don't know. Maybe a natively decentralized ping pong stablecoin. That's how you fix it. Do you get it now? You don't get it? Okay, sweet. pDAI's going to have to go higher for you to get it.